Okay, so I've started playing this game. I've started playing this wonderful game, Oxygen not included. I have like 44 hours on my Steam right now, and I've intentionally done something that makes... I know to people who like really engage with the community, that makes me kind of interesting. I have intentionally and quite heavily isolated myself, information-wise. I have one friend who plays, one guy I know who plays. I talked with him a bit about it, but he intentionally doesn't tell me things. And the whole point is I kind of just wanted to practice and like actually get to experiment. Because like a lot of games, I come from WoW, I come from League, the game that's most heavily influenced how I think about this game is Factorio. And in those games, I look up guides, I engage with the community, I learn all the theory, and it's like, I'm experienced in doing that. I could copy optimized builds and strategies of how to play. I've done that before. What I haven't done very often is figure shit out myself. So that's what I've been doing with this, and I feel like I'm about to get to a junction where some things about how I view the game are going to quite heavily change. Kind of just wanted to make a little video to, honestly, just to be able to express and capture how I'm thinking for people's entertainment. Because I know I come up with different ideas, and it can be kind of interesting to see players like me. Now, all of these colonies, except these top two, and this one I think, are dead. They're like, these are all on the brink of some kind of collapse. I think this one I just didn't play. I don't know why I didn't play this one through. This was my first colony. I've intentionally kept these. And I kind of, when these colonies collapsed, I just have left them. I've just left them. I don't think I've gotten past 100 cycles yet. And I think you'll quite quickly see one of the more interesting things about what I'm doing and the way I approach the game. I have 25 duplicants. So when I started this one, I kind of really wanted to make this colony grow as organically as I could. So things ended up kind of messy. I've got all these coal generators here to fuel my research and mushes and stuff. And this water sieving setup. I figured out that like 4 is too many. For just like processing the toilets. This is quite a lot of toilets. I don't quite remember what killed this one. What killed this colony was I was trying to swap to electrolyzers, and I don't quite remember why it wasn't working. There are some weird things I do. I'm quite fond of heavy watt wires. So, I come from Factorio. So there are 2 things I'm really used to. I'm used to just having a singular electrical line, and the main point of challenge in electricity being just about producing enough. But you see, I didn't get very deep. I didn't explore very far to the side, on either side, on this one. I went up a bit, I just did a straight line shaft. Yeah, I think my oxygen supply kind of just ran out of power. and this is my first attempt. I had a hydrogen generator here. I was trying to keep a vacuum between so the hydrogen wouldn't get out. Ended up not being very important. And one thing I was trying to do as well, and an idea that's still on my mind, is a grid of transformers. Because I'm used to having all of my production in one place. It makes it much more organized, much easier to scale. But it's kind of weird in this game. 25 duplicants on cycle 92. When I first started playing this, one of the things I kind of bumped into and noticed very quickly was that duplicants are my only ways to do things. And I kind of think of them like bots in Factorio. And in Factorio, when you get bots, when you get personal construction bots, it's just such a massive quality of life upgrade. Having a whole swarm of 20 at first and eventually growing to like 50, 100 bots to build things for you, it just makes building so much quicker and easier. So when I saw the printables, and I saw that, okay, I could either get an extra set of hands, or I could get a completely insignificant amount of food. I could get a little bit of water. I think I picked up this water from it, 150 kilograms. It looked like nothing to me at the time. It's just kind of a no-brainer. Like, of course I'd take the duplicants every single time, and if I ever don't take duplicants, I'll be building things slower than I otherwise could. So this is that train of thought started me down on this playstyle path. Of I just take duplicants every single time. I'm still playing like that now. And you kind of see I didn't realize at the time that hydroponic farms aren't needed for mealwood. I was a bit confused why they weren't taking water. But one of the things I really optimized for and really valued is manpower. So I saw hydroponic farms taking away some of the labor needed. I was like, fuck yeah, give me that. Electrolyzers don't need to be manually emptied like an algae terrarium. Hell yeah. So I kind of very heavily focus on that. I want to automate everything so I can have more working time out of my duplicants. This colony has completely run out of oxygen. Everyone's stressed. I don't think there's anything that can really be done for this. I maybe could figure some things out at this point. I'd have to just build a hell of a lot of terrariums. I did not know about heat at the time. It was not on my mind at all. And these neutronium was not on my mind at all. Hello, there are two there. Very cool. So this colony kind of just gets sat in purgatory now. It's not dead, but if I were to let it just play on, it would die. So that was my first colony. And then I think some way through this colony, I didn't do anything on. I don't know why. I just skipped that one. This colony, partway through this one, I got a little curious. I've looked a few things up. I've looked on the wiki a little bit. I try to really keep how much I look up to a minimum. But one of the things I looked up was what the duplicant limit is. When I searched that up, what I was meaning was what is the maximum amount I'm allowed to have. I then read a absolutely hilarious Reddit comment that was talking about oxygen deprivation hotels. and using parkours to just have duplicants, I don't know, I'm guessing in like a box. And not doing anything, just being alive on the barest technicality. So that told me that there wasn't an actual limit to how many you're allowed. And I later read up people saying, like, one person said that they had a friend who'd mined the whole asteroid with 5 duplicants. At that point I realized my little adventure, people saying they went up to like 10 duplicants at cycle like 60 or something. I see that I'm at cycle 70, I'm at 21, I'm like, oh shit. This is not how the game's meant to be played. This colony, I tested ranching here. I just gave them all the food, whatever food they wanted, I think. And they ended up eating all my food. The bigger problem, my farms were originally over here. Problem, it's all approaching 40 degrees. So you can see I started building an icy fan. I didn't quite get heat. I had a saltwater geyser here. I found a cold biome, and I knew what it was. But this, again, it hit like, all my duplicants are close to 100 stress. They just won't work anymore. And they're running out of oxygen. And they have no damn food. So they're pretty much dead. I improved the electrolyzer design a bit. This is kind of what I've kept to. But it kind of ran into a problem where it's not power positive like it's supposed to be. I did the math. The setup should be power positive if the electrolyzers run full time, but it just gets a bit weird, and so it doesn't end up power positive. See, I dug a bit down, dug a bit up, and a bit to the sides. So I got water treatment a bit better. My oxygen is incredibly polluted, which is something that kind of annoys me with other terrariums. Here you can also, on this colony, see kind of the root of one of the design choices I've maintained. And that's these vertical slices. It's kind of how I manage my whole colony. And I deal with oxygen by just pumping it to the bottom of these vertical slices. So each of these just sends to the base of a vertical slice. And then I just let gas density do the job for me. Oxygen will go up, carbon dioxide will go down. I just put carbon skimmers at the bottom and it should work. It'll work if the electrolyzers don't run out of power like these have. Got a lot of food though. I was using lice loaf. I was using exclusively meal lice. I still didn't know about meal lice not needing water at this point. So it's a slight improvement, and that's kind of the theme of each of these. And now this is my 3rd colony I properly played through. And at this point, I knew that my constantly taking duplicants was kind of making the game harder for myself, and that it's just not standard. I just don't care. I'm just curious to see, like, if I can figure it out. You can see I've got the same electrolyzer design, and it has the same issue where I need duplicants constantly managing this. Now, this colony isn't in a stress loop. This colony, instead of dying to a stress loop and lack of oxygen, I almost fixed. No? I started messing with HVAC. I had this cool steam vent which was messing with me as well, pouring heat into my bedrooms. So I've got a HVAC unit set up around, it's filled with oxygen, going around my agricultural tower, but it just isn't enough, really. I mean, this colony is much more salvageable than the rest, than the last ones, but it's still in a rough spot. These guys are just underwater. Duplicants are so stupid. Like, they have no brain power, it's hilarious. Here I started trying to dig out this. And so again, it's like, I was a bit more comfortable with my electrolyzer and my water. This is a colony I didn't continue. This... Oh no, this I think is... Yeah, this colony's fine. This is on the hardest asteroid. I just went there to see what it was. Quite interesting. So, this colony, I had the best understanding of all things. I kind of had heat and food and water treatment kind of under control. My main problem still was heat. This time I actually built much bigger water containment. I went back to 4 water sieves, because 2 is enough to deal with my my toilets, but it's not enough to treat any polluted water that I get in. And with this many duplicants, I mean, you can see that I dig further out. With this many duplicants, it gets much easier to do massive digging projects. I found a cold biome here. There's just a whole bunch of hydrogen here that escaped. And this thermoregulator's trying its damnedest. It's taking heat out of this room with these 3 thermoregulators, and it takes it up to the cold biome. And then these 3, this left one, it goes through a gas shutoff, and the gas shutoff is connected to a thermosensor right in the middle of my agricultural tower. But there are 2 real problems that I'm kind of solving in my current run. The agricultural tower is right next to my my electrolyzer setup, which is very hot. It's 60 degrees in there, it's very hot. I do have HVAC running through here, but it's kind of just too little too late. The agricultural tower is just dead. I could probably set up some agricultural towers here, get some farming going. I started messing with bristleberries. After this run, I did some reading. So now I'm kind of aiming mostly for bristleberries. My ultimate goal with my current run, I want to get 50 duplicants. I want to get a colony sustaining 50 happy duplicants, which is kind of crazy. I think it's kind of a silly number, but that's kind of the point. So, one of the things my friend has said through speaking with him, he mentioned that he uses suits. He has his duplicants wearing whatever the suits are called when they go out, and he has I don't know where the suit things are. He also has his he has Atmo suits, which I just haven't touched in any of my things. All the area I dig to, I treat and consider as part of my colony. Which, for small scale colonies, I think it makes sense to me to use Atmo suits, so that you don't have to send oxygen everywhere. But like, I'm gonna be honest, I just send oxygen everywhere. I oxygenate the whole asteroid is my goal. I just keep everything connected. This colony is in decent shape. I haven't had any deaths yet. I'm at 28 duplicants. Decent stress. I've got a good amount of food. My agricultural tower is gotten a bit hot because I wasn't cooling down my electrolyzer room, which is a problem because the room being hot heats up the oxygen, and the oxygen gets pumped out and it heats up everywhere else. This biome up here was kind of hot, so that was kind of leaking in. So I've covered my farming area in insulated tiles. Now, I'm kind of running into some worries. I'm having some worries about temperature on the whole asteroid, because I found this vent that releases like stupid cold CO2. So I don't know how to regulate temperature, really. I'm not certain on what's the right way to go about it. I'm kind of worried that the hot and cold biomes are just one of them's gonna be too much and is gonna make my colony as a whole either too hot or too cold. So I have a thought that maybe I need to insulate, but then it'd be kind of weird to oxygenate the whole asteroid. I kind of like just having my duplicants be able to run everywhere freely, but I kind of have a issue with like gas being everywhere. Polluted oxygen is a problem. One thing I'm thinking of doing, because I'm digging out all of these sleet wheats so I can keep them wild, which is something I learned from my friend, that I can do that. I don't have to tame them. I can keep them wild and just get free food from them. So I might dig like fully under the biome, just dig all the way under. Oh, there's a cool steam vent. Nice. Dig all the way under, and then I can oxygenate beneath. But I'm kind of like, I could dig out everything so easily. I kind of have like enough space. I'm a little lost as what to do. My focus is kind of just getting food, water, oxygen, and temperature, especially heat, stable. I want to kind of revisit my electrolyzer design. I'm wondering if I should put single electrolyzer pump filter pairs in the closed off room. I don't know. It'd take up so much space. But I mean, I have a lot of space. And one other issue is, like, I need, for 50 duplicants, I need like 6 or 7 electrolyzers, which is 6 or 7 gas pipes. Which is a lot. It's a lot of stuff to move around. So I kind of want to put my oxygen setup like down at the bottom, so I can just run the pipes underneath. Like if I have the oxygen set up there, I can just run pipes like in a massive corridor underneath. Be a 6 tall corridor, which is just a lot. I suspect that this kind of not shutting off parts of the asteroid is not normal. I'm not sure if I'm gonna change that or I'm gonna keep going as I am. I'm kind of worried about temperature across my colony. I don't like carbon skimmers. Carbon skimmers fucking take electricity to just delete CO2. One of my interests is making the colony completely sustainable without geysers. Like, geysers are renewable sources, but they're not scalable. I can't build geysers. So I'm looking for, like, scalable water loops, scalable dirt loops. Sandstone would be cool to have one. If I could get a sandstone loop. I found a sand loop. Very fucking stupid sand loop. There's a very stupid recipe chain. It's hilarious. I can dash a salt vine. I did the math. It turns a slight profit. It's a 200 grams profit on sand. It is net neutral on chlorine and bleach stone. If you turn bleach stone, not if you sublimate it. If you sublimate it, you lose half. You could, like, superheat to liquid chlorine, and then you get it to gas, and then you could pipe up the gas. Or Squeaky Puffs do it with a little loss. Oh no, no. You'd have to melt the bleach stone to do it lossless. But it consumes 500 gold and like half your bleach stone if you don't melt it to make 200 grams of sand. It's so stupid. I don't think it's worth using. But it's theoretically there. It's very stupid. I've also found a water loop that generates a stupid small amount of water. If you mix water and salt, then you go salt water, you freeze it to get brine, and then you superheat the brine to get steam. There's a rounding error, I think it is. I think the devs didn't round right. You end up with like 100 grams or something more water every time you run the loop. It's very stupid. It only works if you freeze it though. Especially because at this point is where the math goes wonky and you get to do it. You get just slightly more water. I'm still looking for other loops. One thing I'm curious on that I haven't investigated is Brackine could be a good source. I haven't done the math on the loop because the issue is I don't know how often you can milk these guys. But if you milk these guys, then convert the Brackine into brine, do that whole brine loop, water, and then you use water on Bristle Blossom, and you get the husk from the Bristle Blossom. Hopefully the math works out that you can sustain the gassy moo on that. It depends on how often you can milk them. Natural gas is really useful. Can use it to get water as well through natural gas generator is really nice. I really want to find slicksters because I don't want to waste carbon dioxide. I want to turn it to oil. I haven't done anything super interesting yet. I hope I might. We'll see if I do. I'm not going to look at the video. I'm not going to look at comments. I'm going to get my friend to spread it around. I'm going to keep trying to make 50 duplicants work. I might have to take a pause at 30 to get this colony stable. My goal right now is to just like get it nice, get it working, so that people don't just starve to death or overheat. And then I'm gonna actually explore the win condition. I'm gonna build some banquet halls here. Eventually I'm gonna turn these into private bedrooms. That's going to be like 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to be like 4 bedrooms here. That's going to go upwards. One thing I've optimized a little bit for travel times. So, you know, bedrooms are above the toilets, so break time they go to toilet and go there. And communal rooms are all in the middle, so you know if they need tasks, they can go there quicker after. Okay, what's this? What the hell? Oh, those are stickers. It's cute, but it looks very weird. This is a very nice game. These guys are so stupid. They keep trying to kill themselves. I've rambled so much. One thing that might be interesting, one thing my friend has asked me on is about duplicant traits. I'm really not picky. Like, there are only a few traits that I think are actually bad. Needing right to sleep and loud snoring are 2 traits that I don't take. Because they require special bedroom setups, so it stops me from just doing this basic barracks setup. Washroom and barracks are just really quick and easy ways to get some moral bonus, because I don't have a lot of moral bonuses. You know, kind of like anything else, decreased food, increased oxygen consumption, I don't entirely like those. But when I get later into a colony, I don't really care about it so much. Because ultimately, having a bad duplicant, it's not really a bad thing. Because I'm trying to get to 50. So, you know, it's a question of having a duplicant versus not having that duplicant. I'm not really making trade-offs between bad duplicant versus good duplicant. It's just bad duplicant versus no duplicant. So there's like really not a lot of traits. I watch out for bonuses. I try and get a decent spread so that I can get skills easily. But honestly, I really don't care. I also don't end up using skills very much. Mainly because a lot of my time they've been kind of rough on morale. But these guys are really happy. Damn. These guys are so happy. So I could invest a bit in points. You know, super hard digging is important. That's basically it. Super hard digging and advanced research are the only mandatory ones, and grilling. Right now for food, I'm just kind of I was using gristleberries, just straight mealwood. I've stopped turning that to whatever it's called. Berry sludge is kind of good. I'm trying to uncover all of these sleet wheats, and I'm going to do it in the other cold biomes I've found as well. There's one up here. There's one over here. I'm going to do that in those. I'm not sure if I can sustain my whole colony on it, but it'd be nice. It'd be very cool. You know, that's a lot of food. I just pipe oxygen down into the tunnel. At some point, I need to make a carbon setup down here. I probably need to put this in an insulated box. Otherwise, this is going to be a problem. One thing I want to do with cold steam vents is I want to put a steam generator above them and try to take the heat out of that steam and get some power out of it. Mainly as a way to cool it down to a usable temperature to bring to the rest of my colony. Because if I don't do that, I'm just going to have heat in my colony. I'm kind of a bit concerned, like I don't want to waste heat. I don't want to just kill heat. Because I don't think... I'm concerned that everything is a, like, finite resource, or almost everything. But yeah, I've rambled for way too long now. I'm not doing any editing on this. um, if I think I come up with anything interesting, I'll share it, but I'm not going to look at the comments until I beat the game several times over. And then I'll engage with the community. But until then, I just kind of want to I want to explore things for myself and come up with my own designs. I think most of my designs will be worse. But apparently my friend has I've infected him a bit. He's getting less he's taking more duplicants and getting less picky about them, which is interesting. Yeah, hope you enjoyed. I mean, that's the entire point of the video. If you didn't find it interesting, well, you won't have listened. Don't care if you subscribe or not. Have a nice day.